Hello everybody, and we are back. The Swatch Prime line here at the Munich MASH, and the start list is up. We're ready to go. My name is Troy Mannering, joined by Ryan Meyer. Ryan, we've had a long delay today, but it looks like we're finally going to get underway here.
It's been a long day of waiting this weekend. Yesterday we tried to run the finals after the qualification round had ended on Friday with perfect weather. Woke up Saturday to thunderstorms. So yesterday we had to postpone, and today it was sunny when we woke up, but when we wanted to start the contest, wind gave way, and now it has pushed us back as far as 7 p.m. But 7 p.m.'s here. Looks maybe a little gray, but at least the wind has gone away for the riders. They've all made it through the course during the break here. They're all a bit warmed up and ready to start the finals here.
All right, our first rider will be Paul Genovese from Fernie, British Columbia, Canada. As you like to say, rider in the half shell in this case.
Rider in the half shell. Paul dropping the mouth guard in, making sure he has that concussion protection. The crowd has toughed it out. Most of them have stayed in the grandstands of the grass loamy hill. They're waiting for Paul to drop in and make this slope-style Munich event happen. Waiting a tiny bit for a wind gust. Looks like he has somebody down there on the bottom the drop, telling him how good the wind condition is right now.
Yeah, this has been a problem all day with the wind the way it has been. Guys got to be real careful because these drops are pretty considerable. And,
Logan Peat is his wingman down there at the bottom, telling him how it is. As we were mentioning, I had gone up to speak to Brett Reeder, judging for the riders there. He's saying that in the pockets in between some of the jumps, especially in the gaps, in between the drops, the step down, the big one there on the 10 meter, you're getting huge different gusts of winds that you're not feeling while on the starting tower. So that is why Logan's sitting down at a different elevation from Paul, so he's able to tell him what the wind is doing. But Paul is ready to drop. Run one, here we go. 360 bar spin, setting things. Big pace there. Tuck no hander bar spin off the next jump. Two combination tricks right out of the gate. Paul Genovese on a good run here. Tail up on that step down feature. Back for bar spin on the next jump. What does Paul have coming up into the step up hip? Nice tail whip up. Makes it in. Into the step down. Big bar spin. Flying up into this next one. Double tail whip. Paul Genovese. No manual bar. Late bar up. See the sun racing through those beautiful clouds there. Flowing right into the step down feature. Backflip off the step down. Looked like he was going for a tuck no hander, but coming out in a huge backflip. No foot can for Paul Genovese out the Fernie BC lope.
That was a great run from Paul Genovese. Good that he waited when he did wait and had a little bit of help from Logan Peat down there. Let's take a look at this in replay as he goes for that big truck in.
Yeah, haven't seen him do a truck driver off the flat drop this year, so there we go. Flat drop truck driver starting it off, especially a lot of intimidation as you're ready to spin off that flat drop where they're saying you have the most wind conditions at the highest point of the Munich hill here. And that nice back foot, no foot can. Unique trick, not a lot of riders are doing.
It's almost like a super can.
So Paul, the first rider, a lot of pressure on his shoulders to make it down course, and that's kind of set the pace. He had a nice one in the bag. But here's a young gun. He maybe hasn't even been phased enough by the wind yet. Doesn't know its real consequences.
Yeah.
Only newly 17 years of age from Sweden, Emil Johansson.
Youngest rider in the field.
Starting it off again there with a 360 bar spin into an opposite double tail whip. That is going the opposite way. Regular tail whip on that step down. Can't believe this kid's confidence and ability to throw these tricks around at such a young age. It's something that masters have taken decades to maneuver. 360 downside 1 foot can there. Oh, going for the triple truck driver, holding in at 2. Nose block 360 up. Checking something on his bike. Looks like he's checking his pedal tension. Bit weird. Hopefully everything's okay. But Emil dropping into this last step down feature.
Double bar.
Spin, delayed bus. Big flip whip.
Oh, yeah.
Emilio Hansen, man, I said it before, the kid's riding is like, he's been doing this for decades. He's only 17 years old, and his confidence and ability to throw those tricks on. Look at that opposite double tail whip right out of the gate.
The smallest problem there was the slip pedal, really, and the rest of it looked really good. Plenty of time on the landing there as well on that backflip bar.
And 1, 2, going for the third bar spin, but thinks, okay, no, maybe I don't have perfect jump. I don't have the perfect timing for that. I'll hold it off for next round.
Incredible. Great run from Emil Johansson from Sweden. Just 17 years young. As I said, the youngest rider in our field today.
Such a matured riding style as well. It's phenomenal to see this kid come out bust on scene this year.
74 points after 2 riders so far. He's got the top spot. I'm not sure how long that's going to last, but he'll be happy about that right off the bat. Next rider up, Drew Bezanson from Canada. Good Canadian kid. Jumping from the 20-inch wheels to the 26-inch wheels here. BMX legend moving over to mountain biking and definitely showing some serious skill on the big bike.
Basically the third time he's ever even ridden this bike. Strange to say, but yeah, a lot of...
Whoa!
Going for that backflip, Superman clicked that extension, but almost didn't get back on the bike. Cork flip on that next step down feature, backflip bar spin over the next jump, into the hip. 360 over 270, one-handed X up, opposite 360 there. Regular 3,
I think he threw a knack on that, actually.
Oh, and a 180 Indian and a fakie. There's that BMX influence. So Drew Bezanson, as we were saying, massive legend, X-Games gold medalist and due tour in BMX. But Drew Bezanson, here we go. Huge flip whip off that last jump. Said he's just having a lot of fun out here. He has some more tricks that he's able to do, but just maybe hasn't had enough time on the bike to bust them out, but pretty good for one of his first major mountain bike slopestyle contests, making it into the finals.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, he was dealing with injury with his leg or something and wasn't able to compete as well as he'd like to at the last contest, but managed to sneak in a wild card for this event.
He had unfortunately had a stupid crash right before the Swatch Rocket Air in Switzerland, in Switzerland, and ended up dislocating his shoulder. And then you're right, came back, did the BMX contest for a bit, and then had a little bit of a leg injury that made him not be able to do as well as he wanted at 2.6. But he solidified a wild card spot. I think it's a good one. It's a deserving one. He's a very humble and nice guy to have on the scene. Great for publicity as well.
Yep.
So yeah, we welcome him with open arms, as we say. Drew Bezanson, no, 77.0.
Whoa, there you go.
First spot right now as 3 are held down.
All right, next rider, Nico Scholze from Germany, from Filderstadt.
Score to beat is a 77.00. Judging from the riding he was doing in qualification and looking at his practice, Nico Scholze has a lot in the bag of tricks that he hasn't yet shown to the Munich crowd here. Let's see. 360 on the step down. 360 tuck no-hander over that next jump. Really hard trick to do, especially in the wind. Big backflip off the step down, flying into the next large double. Backflip bar spin to tuck no-hander, perfect combination. Great extension on that tuck no-hander. The judges are really going to love to see tricks like that executed. 360 on the step down, backflip tuck no-hander over the next jump. Going for the front flip.
Oh yeah, he almost goes over the side rail on the landing though.
Oh, he's a bit bummed out because he didn't get the best rotation on that. As you saw, he was riding up the lip, trying to adjust the foot position on the pedals. His heel was a bit in the wrong spot. Didn't quite get the perfect snap that he wanted. Maybe he was a little too late. But nonetheless, there was no crash, just a bobble. Foot dabs are docked quite heavily, but not to the extent of a crash. But here we go, Nico Scholze dropping into the last half of the course. Back up, tuck no-hander on the step down. Huge trick off that drop. And a huge backflip
Oh
tsunami.
my goodness!
Oh, dude.
That was insane. Even the guys on the top are shaking their heads at that one.
We can almost call that a kiss of death. I believe his head was in between the front wheel there. Yeah, visor hit and all.
Yeah, that was insane. The only thing that bugged me about this run a little bit was that he repeated quite a lot of the tuck tricks. You know, the tuck no-hander is definitely cool, but having it in the run 3 times, the judges are going to look at that and go, okay, need a little bit more variety here.
That is true, but he did do them with combinations. As you saw, there was a 360 tuck no-hander, then a backflip tuck no-hander to bar spin. And yes, you did say there is another backflip tuck no-hander, but that was off a huge step down. So the judges are going to see the massive variation. But look at that.
Great view right there where that visor got
You're more
banged.
the FMX expert than me. What would you call that one?
That's definitely a kiss of death because that helmet kissed that front wheel. There's no doubt about it.
The kiss of death backflip. That's almost one of the world first here at the Swatch Prime Line 2016 by Nico Schulze, your one and only German athlete in the finals today.
And what makes that trick pretty incredible is that the grip strength you need in order to tweak that bike back, and like you were mentioning yesterday, the core strength to bring your body back. So those two things combined to just get back on that bike is pretty incredible. 68.25, he's ranked in 4th place at the moment, so he is sitting at the bottom of the ranking as the 4th rider there. Next rider, Anton Thelander from Sweden.
So as you can see, it was below the 70 mark. He does know that that is going to be the big downfall of his run, that front flip where he ended up messing up the pedals. If he's able to clean that up, I'm sure we're going to be able to see him in the top 5 potentially if he is able to get a nice run through.
All right, at the moment, the score to beat, as you see, is 77 points. That's owned by Drew Bazanson. He's at the top of the leaderboard.
Oh, Anton Thelander, first guy to see do a backflip off of that flat drop.
Wow.
A trick known to be absolutely impossible only 4 years ago. Anton Thelander doing it right out of the gate here. His beautiful clean lander style.
Plenty of variety in this run too, I like it.
Opposite dump 3 off that step down. Little cork down, flip bar. Nose manual 360 or nose bunk 360 bar up the step up, getting his composure a bit as he comes into this big last step down feature. Anton Thelander, run 1, let's see what he has. Big backflip off that step down and a huge flip whip. Oh, over rotating, over jumping on the last jump. Anton is bombed.
Gets crushed on that landing.
Oh, his parents are in the crowd. Girlfriend out from Tawas in BC, actually. Think about that one. That's where I'm from. Never meet people from Tawasin. Anyways, Anton, always a smile on his face. Hopefully he's able to get back up for run 2. Make that one count.
Yeah, you can see you over-rotated that tail whip 3 as well, just slightly. Didn't seem to bother him too much, but the rest of the run looked really nice.
So as you see, there was that backflip tail whip on the middle section jumps. Coming up into this last jump, backflip opposite tail whip, but ends up just over rotating or over, maybe had a bit too much speed coming into that little sideways and ended up pressing the eject button late as there was nothing left to do. Super unfortunate. But if he is able to clean all the rest of that up,
that's
very
a stellar
solid run.
Yeah.
All over the map with trick difficulty and trick variation.
Wow, Anton with 55 just because of that last crash, pretty much guaranteed. That's too bad for him. All right, our next rider, locked and loaded at the top, Mehdi Ghani from Lyon, France.
Mehdi Ghani from France. Rider said it really stepped up his game in the last year. His backflip off the flat drop, front flip tuck no hander on that next jump. Huge difficult trick to do so early in your run. Big backflip on the next jump. Backflip bar spin to tuck no hander. Big combination trick from Mehdi Ghani. Nice
this is a run.
Dumped it in. 360 bar spin off the next jump. Floating into a backflip tail whip and in the step up, huge front flip up the step up for Mehdi Ghani. Cleaned that
Wow.
entire section, no bobbles. Great riding from the Frenchman.
We mentioned earlier that Medigani was on a downward spiral, but this doesn't appear anywhere like that at all. This is probably the best run we've seen so far in the day.
Oh, a huge corner 720 on the last jump. Medigani couldn't have done that better. That was the run he wanted. That was executed perfect, and on first run after all the such wind conditions and the mental game that these athletes have had to go through, let's just take a look back. Flat drop backflip, perfect. Front flip tuck no hander, great snap, great execution.
If he doesn't get top spot after this run, I'll be surprised.
And that backflip was the low point of his run. As you see, everything else had combinations galore. 360 bar spin out of that dish feature, backflip, tail whip, and then into the step up here. One crank and a perfect snap onto that front flip. That is how you do it on the fly out fronts. Backflip tuck no hander, not just a simple backflip, but combination trick on the step down, pumps in, and the first riders see the biggest trick done off that last jump, that cork 720.
That was a nice run from Medigani. That is definitely a points grabber. He should be on top. Let's see this here. There's the count up. 85.5, your new leader. There you go. Top spot. And the new score to beat, 85.50. Nice job, Medi.
So no surprise there. Medigani taking top spot after 6 riders have gone down. But
another French rider coming up from Marseille, France, Thomas Lamoine.
A very good friend and comrade. The guys ride together so much in the south. As well, going to Yannick's training facility that he has there. But it's contest time, and this is what pays the bills. So Thomas Lamoine just waiting for his turn to drop in. Determination and focus in the eyes. See what he has. In qualification, we saw a lot of spin variations out of him. You're noticing most people are going to flip variations. Thomas Lamoine was doing some very difficult spins. Let's see what he has. 360 X up, starting it off. Front flip, going for the tuck no hander. I think I saw the hands let go a little bit, but didn't quite get it. So front flip off that jump. 360 tabletop. Great click with the table. Back the bar to X up. Huge amplitude. That's something the judges as well are going to really need to note. Trick difficulty, amplitude, fluidity. Look at that. Unique trick. The cannonball to bar spin. Not many people are doing that, and it's such a hard trick, actually. May look somewhat easy to some people, but the cannonball is a really difficult one. 360 bar on the step down. Oh, and a huge 360 tuck no hander to late bar spin.
Slightly over-rotated.
Beauty combination there.
You're right about that amplitude, though. He had plenty of it through this whole run. Judges are really going to be digging on the fact that he gets up there. There's that cannonball to late bar, and that's so difficult, like you mentioned, because you're basically throwing that bike away from you. You're only grabbing onto the seat, so you've got to depend on everything being away from the bike evenly, and if you kick a pedal or push a bar just slightly, then everything gets off kilter, and that's what makes it so difficult. Little over rotation on that final jump, but a nice run from Thomas Lamoine. Also brave wearing white jeans during a contest.
Yeah, Thomas is always kind of set new jeans for a contest. We saw him the leopard print and zebras last year, then going into some camo stuff. 82.50, second place. It's a bit of things he's gonna have to clean up, but looking pretty good. We see Brett Reeder out there deer hunting in the woods. Doing it for Anthony, Missouri, as he's on course ready to drop in. Anthony looks like he's just going for it. Balls to the wall. Here we go, West Coast. Anthony, Missouri, tail up off the first drop. Front flip on the next jump.
He sucked that one in. Is it just me, or is he wearing? Is he running 26.5 wheels on that bike?
Oh!
No. Missouri goes down. He's a tough kid. I think he'll be okay, but it looked like he got caught by a gust of wind. You can see the trees in the background there. They're blowing a bit, and I think Maziri might have had a little bit more youth and vigor than, let's call it, common sense on that run by jumping in so quickly. Let's watch this again.
I see he landed at the very top of that backflip bar, but he under-rotates the spin. I don't know if that was...
I think he got a gust of headwind there.
Yeah, honestly, from the very start of that run, it didn't look like the amplitude I'm used to seeing him ride, especially on this course. We've been seeing him go for 3 days now, and it looked like there was something up. So the only other thing is to see what the wind is like. And Logan Peat, though, I mean, we know he's not going to drop in if it's bad conditions, but things look okay. The long hair isn't gusting too much. So, yeah, we'll just have to see how things play out.
Let's not forget, folks, these guys have 2 runs. So, you know, the last thing you want to do is make a mistake on the first run. But if you do, you got to collect yourself, come back for run number 2, and make it happen then.
Just going over a few of his tricks in his head before he drops in. Every rider has a different way of doing it. You have to memorize it, though. It's not just throwing random stuff anymore. This is very planned out.
Yeah, it's not the 80s anymore.
No. Okay. Opposite 360 off the flat drop there for Logan Peat into a 360 whip. Coming into the next step down feature. 360 off that step down. Really long and low jump. Backflip tuck no hander. Tail whip up the hip step up. Opposite 360 again off that feature. Whoa! 720!
Oh wow, nice.
Mid-run and nose bonk 360. Logan Peat, bam! That's the riding I like to see from you, boy. Logan coming around the North Shore skinny. 360 on the step down. Logan Peat, last jump on run 1. Backflip tail whip for Logan.
He feels good about that one, and so he should. That was a great run. See if the judges agree as we take a look back here at the tail whip 3.
And that's 720 mid-run.
Almost looked like he struggled to get the start on that, though.
As you can notice, he doesn't spin a cork 720 like a lot of the riders we see. He just does a regular double spin 360, which is very difficult to do because you're not using that y-axis, we'll say. And
Uh-oh, getting all mathematical on us here, Ryan.
You have to have a bit more hip rotation, I suppose. And so, yeah, I believe actually a regular 720 is more difficult than a cork 7. Maybe the cork 7 you have much more style, so that's where you get judged a bit better in senses, but that's how Logan does his 720s, like that. And yeah, it looked like perfect rotation actually.
Yeah.
88.
We got a new leader. Logan Peat takes over the top spot by 2.5 points. That's a good solid run from Logan Peat. We go back up to the top for Szymon Gociek, our Polish rider, our one and only Polish rider, in fact. But I think you were mentioning he spends a lot of his time in France, right?
No.
Or was that in somebody else we were talking about?
Yeah, Genot, sorry.
Oh, okay,
Spends
it was
a lot
Genot.
of his time in France, but yeah. Spends a lot of his time actually riding as well with his brother David, who is a professional BMX dirt rider, as well riding for Red Bull. They have a nice training facility in their yard.
It's nice when that can happen.
So Gociek, back flip, tuck no hander.
Wow, plenty of speed and amplitude as well.
450 up the hip there. 360 table, cork 7.
Oh! Gets a little squirrely on the landing though, but manages to keep it together.
Wow, and then he's going to miss the trick up the step up, so that is going to hurt his points a little bit, but
You saw his head almost completely blow off the handlebars on that 720, but look, still a huge smile on the kid's face. I love watching him in a contest because he's one of the only riders who, no matter what the conditions are, how serious the situation, how bad he crashes, he's always still happy, and nothing seems to faze him too much, and that's a real nice trait to have in your riding.
Well, that's called liking your life.
Yeah, enjoying and knowing how lucky you are.
Being thankful.
I believe huge
Wow.
Superman C-Crab, massive extension. We said that he has a huge influence, does a lot of motocross variations. Qualification, he started off with a backflip, huge cliffhanger, great extension as well. He's known for doing those massive double grab Supermans and the tsunami backflip. He was the first to do that on a mountain bike here, so look forward into the next 2 runs. Oh, almost blowing the hands off there, but still holding on. I'm sure he's going to get a good score as well. But there is a few things that Simon will want to clean up for run number 2.
Look at that commitment though, right there. Grabs the seat, pushes the bike away, full extension of the legs. There are freestyle motocross riders that would be proud of that one.
Ja, ganz klar, nach dem kleinen Hängenbleiber ist natürlich wieder ein paar Pünktchen weniger. Trotzdem ein Wahnsinn-Superman Secret, den hätten wir gerne live hier von der Seite angeschaut und am besten noch ein Foto davon bekommen, denn der war...
Just waiting on our judges. Here we go. 73 points, 6th place for Simon Godziek. And I think due to the fact that he wobbled a little bit on that one landing is where they docked him a few points.
Yeah, and then he was not able to do the trick actually up the step up, so that is one jump miss. It's quite a big score deduction.
Max Fredriksson up next, dropping in, score to beat 88. Let's see if he can pull it off, the young man here.
Okay, Max Fredriksson starting it off strong with a 360 bar spin. Going the opposite way, 360 bar spin on the next jump. And then again, back the regular way, 360, then into that perfectly executed and caught flip whip.
Double
Top
tail.
side double whip. 360 tuck no hander. Oh, and the 360 downside whip. And nose bonk 3 up the step up seems to be a stock trick to do these days.
This is a spin it to win it run.
But such fluidity through these Swedish riders. Tail whip on that drop, one of the hardest tricks to do in wind conditions. Backflip, bar spin to tuck no hander, finishing it off on that 10-meter long jump. Fredriksson is pumped with that, hands in the air, stoked to get everything out of the way, and almost no bobbles at all.
Good safety run. Let's look at this again. Truck driver in, nice.
Driver. So that's the regular way he spins. Then this goes the complete opposite way, doing that exact same trick on the next jump. So it's like, when I say opposite, we have a natural way of spinning. So Max rides left foot forward and he's just regular, so he will spin to the right, meaning that his back foot on the pedals will be pushing his rotation around. If you do an opposite, that means he's gonna spin into his front foot, so that's to the left side. And that is so much more difficult, I can't even express it. These Swedish riders, however, they've mastered it so well that it looks completely natural.
It's almost like back in the day when Bob Burnquist was skating switch and regular, as though you know, both were natural for him. You couldn't tell. It was so difficult to call his runs.
Exactly.
Good run from Max Fredriksson. Järfälla, that's his hometown. Let's see. Wow! 89.25 for the young Swede. He is our new leader. That is a score to beat. Remember, folks, these scores are out of 100, so he is only a few points away from having a near perfect score as we get Nikolai Rogatkin logged in here. Boston Bruins all over his helmet there. I'm guessing he's coming from Boston. That would be just a wild stab in the dark.
Yeah.
So the score to beat is 89.25. Nikolai's had the bonus of being able to watch all these runs so far, and he is one of the top 4 riders here, so one of the last 4 riders to ride in this first run. Let's see what he's got in store for us.
Nikolai Rogatkin dropping in. Oh, fast plan.
Fast plan.
360 off the start drop, making it very creative. Nikolai is known for the huge tricks, so he's not going to have something really big there.
Oh! Triple tail!
Triple tail whip. Super late triple tail whip. I thought he was maybe going to go for just a late rotated double and snap triple around. Oh!
Cash roll!
Cash roll mid-set and front flip.
Oh my God!
As I was just trying to say, he was going to go for an easy one as a setup there, that tuck no-hander on the step down. Woo! Nikolai Rogatkin on fire. Double tail whip on the step down.
Risking a lot in this run.
Oh, and a cork 720.
That was an insane run from Rogatkin, but what do you expect? This guy always has these mellow, halfway there qualification runs to get himself into the final, and then he explodes with something like that. That was incredible. Let's look at this again.
So checking it off, going a bit different than his normal style. Fast plan 360. First person I saw do that in contest was Brandon Semenuk at the Joyride slopestyle. 1, 2, 3. The first one was so slow, and then the second two, I mean, I didn't at all think he had enough amplitude anymore for
He was
3
cranking those
tail
bars
whips.
to get him around. There's that cash roll.
Perfectly executed again, and then into that sniped out front flip, double tail whip on the step down. Double tail whip on the step down before you set up into cork 7 over the 10-meter long jump. Biggest jump on course, biggest drop on course. Two of the hugest tricks we've seen all day.
He's feeling happy about that one, though. I'm guessing the judges are probably going to pump him into the 90s with their score here. Let's see what they say. Wow, 93 high score. That is going to be a tough one to beat, but let's not forget, we have 3 riders still to come who just watched that run from Nikolai Rogatkin. Torquato Testa, Thomas Chenot, and Brett Reeder, all of them have a chance here. And Torquato will be the first to try and beat that insanely big 93 score. Look at that.
Really harsh burn on his arm from
Nice
crashing
raspberry.
in that first run. Torquato Testa, I'm sure he can put this out of his head. Backflip, tweak off that first flat drop. Whoa, cork 720 already at the start of his run. First jump, big tricks from Torquato. Backflip, 1 foot X up on the step down. Flip whip. Tuck no-hander to bar on the step up, hip there. Whoa, 360, a little bit over-rotated, holding on to it though. Quick tuck no-hander into bar spin, missing the extension there. The judges will be noting it. However, big combination tricks for the Italian rider coming up into the first half of the course. No pause at all. Let's see what he has in this last half. Backflip tuck no-hander.
Just didn't get those hands away. The double backflip to finish it off. Oh! Gets in there for the dirt enema on the landing, though. Ugly, but he's okay. He got up right away. Double backflip to finish it off. Torquato Testa. That is a ballsy run right there.
Unfortunate,
Going right for gold at the very top. You saw he was charging a little hard. He was not giving himself enough time for some of the extensions. Maybe the adrenaline was pumping a bit too much, trying to get that crash out of the start from the very top out of his head, but a bit too eager on that double flip here and over rotates. Manual's out. Very easy crash from a double flip. Could go much, much worse from such a trick.
59.75. And that can be pretty much entirely blamed on that crash at the end. The judges score really, really hard when a guy crashes.
Yeah, it's basically considered a complete wipe of your run if you crash.
All right, 2 riders to go here. Thomas Chenot, our Belgian Frenchman, locked in. Look at that, standings on the side, right-hand side of your screen, though. 93 points for Rogatkin. That's a big score.
Chenot, backflip on the first jump. Oh,
Oh,
no!
my goodness. Gets a
Going
little bit
down
nose heavy and
super
goes down
hard.
hard.
Oh, Chenot, that is so uncharacteristic for such. Wow, you saw that he didn't really have the perfect leg placement on that truck driver, but was going for it anyways. Triple truck he was looking at.
That's a rough crash as well, right at the very start,
Oh,
but
really,
that's the
really
risk
tough. Let's take a
when you
look
do
back
it
at
at
what
the
happened
start
here.
of an event.
3, 1, 2, and there went wrong. Oh.
One more angle on it here.
Something just happened with the hand placement.
He couldn't get that left hand back on. That bike kept rotating. He couldn't control it by using a bar tweak. And that's the reason. Just to give you a bit of perspective, folks, look how big that start ramp is compared to a man who is 6 foot. That is a massive start ramp.
You're looking at a start ramp of about 18 meters there.
All right, Brett Reeder probably got that crash going through his mind as well. And, you know, we talk about this often. When the guys before you crash, it's rough, especially if an injury happens. But luckily in this case, Thomas Chenal walked away from that one. He'll go back up to the start, and Brett Reeder drops in.
And Brett Reeder drops in strong with that backflip 1 foot can. Whoa, look at the amplitude on that. Huge air. Whoa.
That was mega air right there.
Insane. I thought he was over-rotating almost. Back bar. Cork 7 first on the rhythm section there.
Beautiful landing.
Decade up, the step-up feature. Opposite 360 bar on the next jump. Oh, backflip double tail whip. Slips a pedal, missing the trick up the next jump. Wow, but that was some huge difficulty tricks. Let's see how the judges are still going to reward him. There is one more run left, and it isn't finished yet. Run 1, 360 double bar spin. I think that was double. That was so quick.
Definitely double.
And a corks. Oh!
Oh, no.
Wow, Reeder went down. I think that was an opposite cork 7. Wow. Oh, it looks like he hurt his hand.
That doubles bar spin was Ryan Nyquist-like, you know, just threw it to the wind and hoped he could catch it on time. I think Reeder's going back up to the top to collect one of his fingers. Let's watch this run again here. The look at the amplitude right here. Goodness gracious, that's at least 3 meters above the top of that ramp. Perfect landing. Did I just say goodness gracious? I did, didn't I?
I did. Goodness gracious, gee golly. Wow, I'm just trying to take this all in. Brett Reeder and Chenal had 2 very uncharacteristic. That flip double whip. It's not a huge jump, I'll say that. Super quick 3 double bar. And then that was an opposite cork 7. Oh, going down hard, man.
Yeah, he just didn't have enough distance on that. Got that front wheel on the knuckle of the landing.
Oh, too bad for Reeder. Wow. I haven't seen him this low down on the grid 3-4 years.
Yeah, Nikolai Rogatkin right now in control of this event, though, with 93 points, which is not exactly surprising. But then again, you know, we didn't see the full and complete runs that we would normally see from guys like Thomas Chenal or Brett Reeder. And I'm wondering, you know, how much the, you know, the headspace has been playing with all of the delays today and the wind and seeing some of your buddies go down and crash, and how much that affects the way that they're performing right now. You can see Brett Reeder, Thomas Chenal, Anthony Mazziri, all of these guys with, you know, low scores. Normally we're seeing them way, way up on the riders list here at the standings.
And there is the sun beaming through those cumulus clouds.
Let's call them cumulus clouds, just for grins.
I don't know at all.
Cumulonimbus.
Yeah, something
Why
like
not?
that. Yeah, sure. Wow, Nikolai Rogatkin just checking out some highlights here. A double tail whip on the set down feature and into this perfect cash roll. Thinking about the difficulty, Nikolai Rogatkin got into the 90s, 93.0 here on first run with such tricks. What would have Brett Reeder have gotten if he landed all of his, including that opposite cork 720 on the last jump? We'll just have to wait and see. Run 2's coming your way.
At the moment, though, Nikolai Rogatkin, who qualified in 4th, is your leader with 93 points. It's a solid score for him. That's going to be a tough one to beat. We do have second runs coming up. Great crowd still here on hand, even with the delays and the wind and the weather changes and everything. The people of Munich have come out and are enjoying a fine day here at the Olympiapark in Munich for this Munich Mash 2016. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast so far. There's still more action to come. Make sure you hang tight. We've got second runs coming up shortly.
So here's your start list for run number 2. First to drop in is one who just had a tough crash, Thomas Chenot. Super hard triple truck driver attempt on the second jump there. Then followed by Anthony Missouri, Brett Reeder, and Anton Thailander, Torquato Testa, Nico Schulze, Paul Genovese, and Simon Gottsiak. That's your top 8, but man, those top 5 right there are the first people to drop in. Those are the people who we're usually waiting to drop last.
Exactly. And that's what sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Just to explain that, folks, that what they've done is they've taken the standing order after the first runs based on their scores, and then they've reversed that. So that's what Ryan meant when he said a re-rack. So that's why Nikolai Rogatkin will be the last guy to ride here in run number 2. So he's definitely got the advantage now of seeing everybody else ride, knowing that he's got the top score.
Huge advantage, and that as well means that if he goes down and nobody has been able to top his score, then he doesn't have to risk everything and put it all on the line again for another one. He knows maybe he can just take it easy and go with his first run score, and that's going to be enough to take the win.
Also, don't forget to visit the Snapchat Swatch to check out up-to-date information and pics and videos of the ongoing competition here. You are guaranteed to have some fun with that. And for all of those guys out there that are unfamiliar with this that's going on, the Swatch Fan Award, and hopefully Thomas Chenot can come up with some good moves here for the fans.
Bam! 360 triple truck driver. Getting redemption there. Opposite 360 over the next jump. So he's had flat drop backflips, triple truck drivers and spins both ways. Double whip, double opposite truck driver, I believe there. 360 down whip or decade. Front flip, man, redemption start half the run for Thomas Chenot. He's on fire right now.
Redemption song. This is a great run from Thomas Chenot here.
360 tuck no hander, super late on that, but getting it around, and wow, oh no!
Oh no, what a fantastic run just to the final landing. Went a bit short. Thomas Chenot going down hard there.
Oh, taking a beating here.
Back on his feet though, and that is a big deal right there. Good for Thomas.
So quick after each other. Chenot, not characteristic for him, but man, such determination from these riders to have such huge crashes and come back and just do it for the crowd here.
Taking a bit of replay, looking at things. 360 double bar there. That was rig. And then into that decade. A 3 down, whatever you want to call it. And that 360 tuck super late.
Looked a little bit tentative on that.
Looked like he was really rear wheel heavy. And a super slow rotation on that cork 7, but pretty good rotation when he came around, just a bit short. That's what messed him up the most. Huge case on that. That's the hard thing about the cork 7 is you have basically 0 time to see if you're in line or not. It's just estimation when you come off the lip if you're making this. And, oh, really hard slide on his side down there.
Yeah, and again, that could be a bit due to the wind, although from our vantage point here, there is still a bit of wind, but not a ton of it. So it's up to Anthony Mazzeri to come back and try and better his 27 score and try and stay focused after a few guys have gone down.
Anthony Mazzeri starting it off with that tail whip. Then big boosted front flip. See what he has flying around that berm. Nice flat 360.
South last time. Let's see if we can keep it together this time.
Backflip bar, held it in, and great landing position. 360 into the top of the dish. Opposite 360 out. Backflip over the next jump. Tiny bit of a case. And going to be missing that next trick. But Anthony Mazzeri for run number 2. He's made it all the way to the bottom now. Backflip bar spin off the step down. One of the biggest tricks we've seen, huge, and that big flip whip finishing it off. Anthony Mazzeri, that flip bar spin, such a difficult trick to do and scary trick to do. Wow!
He's got his laces wrapped around the inside of his pedal there. Now we got him free. Just talking about the Swatch Fan Award before that first run here in seconds. The rider who gets the loudest and best cheers from all the fans will win the award, $1,500 plus a trophy. And that is measured with the new Swatch Touch 02 watch. So the audience members all, or not all, but many of them have that Touch 02 watch. So that is how that will be awarded and measured as we see that last little tweak from Anthony Mazzeri here as we see how his foot gets a little bit lost in the pedals there actually. His pants were caught in the chain ring there. That used to happen way back in the 70s when we wore bell bottoms on our BMX bikes. Sorry, I had to go there. Just focus on the show, Ryan. It just doesn't get any weirder in here.
What is this 70s you speak of? I was born in 88.
Scary.
Terrifying, maybe.
All right, Brett Reeder, our next rider.
Currently sitting 15th position. Brett Reeder, the man who has had the longest ongoing rivalry with the top man of our sport, Brandon Semenak. Or I mean, well, we shouldn't say he's top man, but hey, Brett Reeder's back in form here. Front flip 1 foot can. Wow, that amplitude is so high on that front flip bar spin. Wow, I think I said front flip 1 foot can. Of course, there's a back flip can. Cork 7.
Downside.
360 downside whip on the step up. Just single truck there instead of double. Oh no!
He misses the step up altogether.
Brett Reeder.
That's a bummer for Brett. He knows he's not going to get there. He'll finish up the run, but he's not going to have nearly the points that he needs in order to be able to catch up to Nikolai Rogatkin, who has 93 points. That's mega.
360 double bar there. And that opposite 720. Wow, perfect execution.
That really is a bit of a bummer for Brett because without that one miss, he might have had a really, really high score.
Wow, that trick just blows my mind that he's doing cork 7s so beautifully like that. They look almost identical. Let's just check out that. Actually, I think his opposite ones look even better than his regular cork 7s, but let's just take a look. Flip, double whip. Wow, just threw him a bit too far to the left on the landing. But there actually wasn't a bobble except for completely missing that step-up feature. And then this cork 7, the opposite way. Wow, so perfect.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Well, now it's all up to the judges. Let's see what happens and what they're going to reward him, because those are some massive tricks, huge difficulty, but he did miss one feature. Look of disappointment, actually. You can see he knows it's not going to be enough. He just kind of wants to get out there. I can feel it.
He wants to see that score so he can walk away from that position on camera.
Brett Reeder was sitting at the bottom of the pile with a 50.75 earlier before dropping in for this run.
Yeah, we got some Brett Reeder fans in the audience. There we go. Attaboy.
68.75.
Well, that's a bit of a cheat on the judge's part, even though, I mean, there was no crash in that run. He just missed one jump. So more or less, it was a perfect run minus one jump, which is, I don't know, 68 for me feels a little bit low even. I don't know if you agree, but
I do kind of. It's just hard.
Anton Thelander up next here. He's got a first run 55. So currently he's sitting in 15th because of the new scores that have been calculated. He's got to get it through here.
Anton Thelander, flat drop backflip. 360 whip. Solid, super slow rotate, 360 on that next jump. Backflip whip, coming up into that step up hip. The nice cork flip. Opposite 360 on the step down. Backflip bar spin, and into the step up.
Truck driver. Nice.
Nose bonk truck driver, so a little bit of added creativity. Oh, and I think he saw the wind was a little gusty. He's going back to make sure everything is okay. This would be a good time for him to try and activate the Swatch. The new Swatch contest.
The fan award.
The fan award. That's the word I was looking for. Thanks, Troy.
Big tailwhip backflip. Oh! But he goes down hard. He was a little bit to the right on the lean when he landed.
Wow.
Couldn't hold on to it. Anton Thelander, tough character though. He's up. He's okay.
Really hard crash again from Anton Thelander. Wow. Some very uncharacteristic riding from some of the guys here. We'll just take a break and lay out, let you see some good action from Thailander's last run.
Here's where we get to see that last. He was just a little bit too far to the right on the landing. You can see there, yeah, over-rotated.
Oh,
he got high-sided,
super
slammed.
hard head hit. Oh,
Hulk Hogan would be proud of that slam.
oh man!
That hurt my feelings.
Oh. Oh, that hurts me just looking at that. That was so tough.
All right, so Anton Thielander was just the man we saw. Torquato Testa, he had a testing run.
Torquato Testa back. Oh, and into that course 7. Oh.
Well, about the easiest crash of the day.
It's on the wood landing, so could slide out, but whew. Going to look back at Anton Thielander. He's trying to calm his brain right now. Super bummed out that this happened. A flip off a whip, really difficult trick to do.
That's the risk for a guy like pulling off a jump like that as well, Thielander, is that impact on the ground. You know, your head hits the ground, you risk a concussion, and that can sneak up on you as time goes by. So, you know, he's going to have to rest it out now.
Just completely over-rotated in all directions.
As far as crashes, though, that's pretty soft. I mean, you know, no crash is fun, but Torquato managed to slide that one out pretty cleanly. Nico Schulze.
Nico Schulze sitting in 12th position right now.
He had a great first run. He was solid.
He wishes that he wore some tinted lenses, but Nico Schulze, the only German rider in this final in Munich. 360 off the start drop. Parents are in the audience watching their son do the best he can here. 360 tuck no-hander. Backflip, I couldn't quite see what that was. Backflip, something the sun was a bit overshadowing. Tuck no-hander up the step up. 360X. Backflip tail whip. Nice execution and a 360X up the step up. Nico, keep that flow going. That's what the judges are looking for. And he does, coming into this last step down feature. Backflip tuck no-hander. And into the last jump. That huge tsunami or kiss of death backflip.
I love it. That is such a great finish. The fans in the audience here, they are loving their home country flavor. And so are these guys right here. Go Nico. Awesome. Sounds like the gas can is getting a little bit empty though, hey?
Yeah, Confederate flag is not proud.
It sounds anemic right now, in fact. That's hilarious. What a great run from Nico, though. I like it a lot. Especially that kiss of death at the end.
A lot of diversity, and especially bringing a very unique touch to that trick. It's not just a backflip Superman. I mean, if you look back in the runs, Drew Bezanson did a flip Superman on second jump. That is a flip Superman. This is just extended way past anything you think of. Like full, basically horizontal with his bike in an inverted motion and completely bringing his body back to the bike there. Just so difficult.
And as I said before, I mean, that you need to have, like, he could probably crush cannonballs with that grip strength he's got there, because you have to hold on to those bars like hell. Yes. Because you don't have the bar extensions to push against your forearms to help bring that bike and you back into position. So as you mentioned, core body strength and of course grip strength has got to be unbelievable on this kid. Go and shake his hand. It's probably like Bob Harrow. He crushes your hand.
Bob who?
You're a funny guy.
Ranking im Fan Award.
84, he improves to 5th place. Nice, great run by Nico Schulze. Super. Gut gemacht, Junge. All right, we're gonna head back up to the top of our course. Paul Genovese, who got us started today in run 1, will be the next rider coming up from Fernie, British Columbia, Canada. Getting ready to drop in for his second run. 69.75 is his first run score. He's going to try and beat a 93. Can he do it? Let's see.
Truck driver off that first step down. Oh, oh, bummer. Missed the bar there.
Spin, yeah.
But hey, run's not over. Still going for a double bar flip. Tail whip.
Tail whip on the hip. Schön gelöst.
Double bus driver there. Double tail whip.
He's got it
Still
together here.
going, still going. Good on you. Keep that momentum rolling, Paul. Back from tuck, no hander off that step down. Huge trick. And a no foot can back flip. A little bit of a hang up.
More or less a clean run from Paul, except for the one mistake on that first jump where he wanted to do the bar spin.
He knows he's upset with that. It was basically great, except actually it was great. He just missed the trick, and he knows that's going to cost him huge because in the end he only did a tuck no hander off that jump. Where we're seeing other riders do front flip bars, flip whips, cork sevens. That isn't going to be enough for top contention, and he knows that.
This is great though, right here. What a view. I would have liked to have seen a pendulum can on that one with the can on each side. He actually drops points from run 1 to run 2, and I think that's because of that lack of the bar spin on that second jump off of the drop. All right, next up is Simon Gotziek. More or less a good run to start. He's gonna have to pick up the pace here though.
Okay, 360X. Yeah, and
There it
that's
is.
picking up the pace.
Cliffhanger
Back flip,
flip.
cliffhanger. Wow, one of the hardest flip variation tricks you can possibly do, and he does it right there and then. First jump in, backflip bar to tuck, no hander. Gotziek is on fire here. Polish rider seems to be in a hurry to get home for his wife's birthday tomorrow. Oh!
Squirrely on that landing.
Squirrely, but he's got it. Gotziek! Come on, boy. 720 on that jump before the step up. Back flip, 1 foot can on that step down feature. Oh, and a huge backflip. Condor, said the French.
And he'll have a seat.
And we'll chill for that 7-hour drive back to Poland. So taking a look back, started off great here. 360X into that huge cliffhanger flip.
Oh,
Not
early
the-
he gets into it too.
Not the biggest arm extension, but not the biggest jump to be doing such a trick anyways. Great to see his body fully straight. And that
Yeah, let's
cork
not forget
7.
we're going on a step up on that one. you
Yeah,
know?
on the cork 7 there, a little bit of a hang up, but still holds on to it, just misses a trick off the next jump, and he knows he's not gonna go for the biggest one possible, so just throws a backflip tuck no hander off the last jump. Finishing it off, that's run 2 for Simon Gotziek.
Czemu, ale na tych korkach jebanych cały czas klinuje. Ja pierdolę, nie wiem czemu.
73.25, a slight improvement, but not enough to get him into the top 5. All right. On to our last 7 riders here. Emil Johansson from Sweden, the 17-year-old kid. Ranked in 8th.
8. Out of all these top professionals, this is the second FMB contest he's done. 360 bar spin, opposite double tail whip. Wow.
Looks relaxed about it too.
Very perfect. Regular tail whip on that next jump. Huge diversity there. Backflip bar spin to 1 foot can. Massive extension. Slow, clean, and perfectly clicked. 360, 1 foot can there. 360 triple bar spin. Nose bump 3 up. Okay, what does he have on this step down feature? Friday was the first day he was officially riding a step down. And slow bus driver there. Backflip double flip, backflip double tail whip.
Oh my goodness. That was an incredible finish from the young Swede, 17 years old, and riding as though he's been on that bike 30 plus years. What composure.
Wow, man, I can't believe.
I don't think he can believe it either.
I can't believe how confident he is in his riding. This is something we don't see out of riders until they're, you know, in their mature prime of 23 or something. 17, man. Like what? He's been riding for 5 years maybe, and that's like since he started. Oh, I can't believe it.
Yeah,
so
that's
envious.
kids these
Whoa,
days.
was that 4? Oh,
No, it
I
was
wasn't
3.
paying attention.
It was 3.
Okay, okay. Look at it. So slow on that last bar spin.
Just chilling.
And here, 1, 2, flip doubles.
Boink.
Get the case, but like just absorb it with my legs as if nothing even happened. Wow. Wow. So stoked for him. Emilio. How would you say it in Swedish? You want to try?
Emil Johansson.
Emilio Johansson? I don't know.
Emil Johansson.
Emilio
To be quite honest with you, I couldn't tell you how to say it in Swedish.
Emil Johansson. Emilio Johansson. Somebody Swedish, call me out on this and say how bad I'm pronouncing or how good. Emilio Johansson. Emilio Johansson. Fuck. Oh, pardon my French. I don't know. I just don't know. It's tough.
I would stick with Emil Johansson.
Emil Johansson, okay.
All right, let's see what he's got. Wow, 84.75. He improves to 5th place. A good 10-point jump for Emil Johansson. Good job. He's happy about that. Oh, boy. All right, Drew Bezanson getting ready to go for his 2nd run. He's currently sitting in 8th place. He's looking at, I don't know, I look a bit stressed, actually.
Like me, you mean?
Yeah, a bit, yeah. The dock and pay that you're going to receive here. All right, Drew, come on, boy. Make us proud, buddy. Some of his BMX edits in the past have just blown my mind. And the fact that he's come over to the big wheel revolution, we'll call it moving to the dark side. It's pretty cool. You can see the Olympic Hall in the background there, the BMW buildings in the background there, the swimming pool, the Olympic Tower, the TV tower. Beautiful park here as Drew drops in.
Drew Bezanson, 360 bar. Big
Superman backflip.
Superman. Seeing him do that trick on the track there reminds me of days when Cameron Cole was competing in contests. Oh, looks like he was going for the tuck no-hander after that backflip bar spin. Opposite 360. I couldn't actually see what that was. Into a 180 Indian air.
Yeah, seat grab Indy.
To fakie. I think he did some kind of 360 variation. Backflip bar spin off of that last step down, and a huge backflip tail whip.
Nice. That was a pretty solid run from Bezanson. I like it. He asks, is that the same bottle everybody gets, or is it fresh? Nice tag on that one. I'd love to know what the heart rate is at the start, in the middle, and at the finish on these guys.
Yeah, that's an interesting survey, actually. And including crashes, where does it go?
Yeah, I mean, we've started doing that with the freestyle motocross, and it's very interesting. You notice the heart rate is pumping before they start their runs. When they're in their runs, it's calm. It's very strange. All right, Drew Brezanson, pretty nice run. He hangs around in 8th place, so no major changes for him. Next up is going to be Thomas Lamois from Marseille, France. Doing his best to keep those white jeans clean.
Thomas Lamois dropping in. Last chance to see if he can bump up from 7th place. Whoa! Over-rotating on that front flip. Bit too fast. Here's French rivals cheering him on in the background there. Flip, double bar. Tuck, no hander to bar spin. 360 double bar. 360 double whip. Slipping a pedal, unfortunately. Nose bonk the bar up. A lot of
Still got a trick in there.
combinations. Oh, 360 bar on that huge step down. And a 360 tuck no hander. He was wanting the bar spin like run 1, but
That was super floaty, that last trick, though. He had some amplitude.
Yeah, he was wanting to get a bar spin into the last bit of that, but just didn't quite get it. I think he wanted to go for the front flip tuck and couldn't take the hands off. That's why he had the bit more rotation than usual. Check out that truck driver, that massive 10 by 10 step down meter.
Whoop, there it is.
Oh, he caught his bar with his shirt.
Uh-oh, we got a dabber. Tag someone who dabs too much. Lamois.
Where did dabbing come from?
I don't really know. And all right, so Medigani will be up next. He actually had a really good first run. I liked how much style and let's say pizzazz was in that first run. Swatch Prime Line trophies.
Medigani. Front flip tuck. Back, double bar spin. Oh, slipping a pedal. Oh, Medigani. Oh, that's tough. He's going to be holding on to his 4th place score for sure after this one. To bump past that, he really needed to have a completely flawless run. Unfortunately, this one's just going to be for the crowd now.
Good finish, though.
Great finish. Can still go away being happy with that. Beautiful first run for Medigani. He's going to hold it right now. Currently sitting in 4th position with that 85.5. Next rider in the gate, actually. I was just watching him in practice. It came down off the step down feature, like off the first one. Perfect, completely perfect. And then he just pulled off to the side, and he said, "I think I just pulled my back." It was so bizarre.
We're talking about Logan now.
Yeah. And so he's had a ton of back pain for the majority of the day here. He's been going through massages and everything, trying to get it taped up.
Fourth place for Medigani. So no podium for him today, with 3 guys still to go: Logan Peat, Max Fredriksson, and Nikolai Rogatkin.
But pretty impressive, as I'm talking about the back problem of Logan Peat.
Yeah.
He's still sitting in 3rd place.
Incredible.
With 3 riders to go, I guess that means he's assured himself a 3rd place podium position. He's pretty happy. Big smile on the Canadian's face. 88.0 right now. Let's see if he can better it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Drop it in, eh?
Logan Peat. Opposite 360 on that flat drop.
Out for a rip.
Regular 360 tail whip on the next jump. On the long step down, 360 bar.
Squirrely landing.
But still holding on, perfect and huge amplitude on that flip whip. Next jump, that is something that's really difficult if you mess up a little bit to keep momentum. Whoa, that's 720. Perfect, holds the pedals nice and strong, and a nose manual into that 360. I wasn't just really a bonk, that was pretty much a manual up. Okay, Logan Peat, 360 off the last step down feature. Last attempt, back flip, tuck, no hander.
Not.
He wanted something a bit more, I think.
He knew it too. Yeah, he can't be too upset with a 3rd place. I don't think he's going to improve on his 88 points, but a podium spot is his nevertheless. So worst case for him today is he'll have a bronze. Great 720. Just a little hook up there, but managed to keep it together for that nose wheelie 3 up onto the step-up box.
Oh, was just wanting that bar. Look at his face. He knew right as soon as it happened. Oh, missed the bar spin. Too bad for Logan, because that could have been the run to bump him up.
81.5, no improvement, but he'll stay in 3rd place with an 88. Nice job by Logan Peat this weekend, and now we go to Max Fredriksson at the top. The Swede getting ready to drop.
Max Fredriksson sitting in 2nd place at a Diamond Series event.
Not
wow,
bad.
He should be very happy with his performance. 360 bar starting. Opposite way, 360 bar. Let's see if he can get Nikolai Rogatkin a run for his money here. Fredriksson, 360 down the step down. Back foot tail whip, perfect rotation, huge amplitude. Double whip up that step up hip. Floating that 360, tuck no hander. Decade on the next jump, pedaling in, nose bonk 3 up. Fredriksson trying to get the crowd award here.
He wants that crowd into it.
He wants that Swatch fan award, seeing if all those touch 02s are able to measure the magnitude of his chanting. Tail up on the step down. Fredriksson's last jump. Back foot bar spin, the tail whip.
Oh my God.
Oh!
Unbelievable finish by Max Fredriksson. Nice.
Whoa, Maxi boy. Huge combination. Wow, that is such a tough trick to do. He didn't land perfect with his pedals, but boy, that's a huge trick to pull in a contest. Max not only doing basically the exact same as what he did in his last run at the top half, but he cleans it up. I mean, that should be reward enough if you can do the exact same difficult run 2 times in a row. But then he steps it up even more so right here. Cleans that tail up on the step down, pushes into the last jump, back foot bar spin, late tail whip. Just slips a pedal there. Just slipping a pedal with that hang up.
We'll give him that though. My. Stellar finish though. If it weren't for the pedal slip, that would have been an incredible final jump. Sweden represented very well here this weekend, by the way.
Yeah. They're trying to rival Canada, I feel.
Yeah, no less than 3 Swedes in the mix. All right.
And 3 Canadians.
Waiting for judges' scores. We just saw a quick view of Nikolai Rogatkin. 89.25 from his run 1. Will stand. He drops down points-wise for run 2, but he holds on to second place. So basically now, this run for Nikolai Rogatkin is a victory lap. He just needs to make it down to the bottom of the course, and he can celebrate. Question is he going to do Rogatkin style, or is he going to do Rogatkin style?
That's a face of Nico wanting to get a. Oh, that's a determined Nico face. I actually don't even think there's going to be anything chill in this run. It's Nico, man. I think we're just going to see everything.
Watch out for the twister.
Yeah, he's going for gold again. Wants to do the full one.
Yeah, why not? Hey, have some fun with it.
Maybe not. Maybe he'll hold back a little bit. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I think he wants to set up for the twister on the last jump, though, because he's been talking about it. Do you think? You agree?
The victory lap though to Nico. Now hold on. Here we go, last jump. Nikolai Rogatkin, we know you have that in the bag. What are you gonna do for us? Oh, twister!
Oh no, goes down on the twister, but it's not gonna make a difference. Nikolai Rogatkin will live with a 93-point score from his first run. He is your winner here at the Munich Mash. The Swatch Prime Line points go to him. What a finish, though, for the crowd here. May well be that he gets that Swatch Fan Award as well. And the Swatch Touch 02 watch.
It looked like he was going a little slow into it. That he was. There you have it, folks. That was run 2 completed with Nikolai Rogatkin taking the win. He held out from first run, sitting in first place with that 93.0. Went all the way through to the last man down. Victory laps awarded. And he tried to do it for the crowd here with that spinner, Cork 1080.
Unbelievable.
That was it. The 2016 Swatch Prime Line here at the Munich Mash, Olympiapark.
Separated from his bike real quick as well, yeah? Nicely done, though, Nikolai Rogatkin.
Thank you.
Video for an interview now?
All right, folks. Well, that is done and dusted, and we have a look at the final results here. As you see, Nikolai Rogatkin, Max Fredriksson, and Logan Peat are your top 3. Medigani, Emil Johansson, Nico Schulze, Thomas Lemois, Drew Bezanson are rounding out the top 8 there. We'll take a look at the rest of the results here in just a second. Simon Godzik, Anthony Mazzeri, Paul Genovese, Brett Reeder, Thomas Chenot, Torqueto Testa, and Anton Thielender with the remaining spots there. Those are our final results at the Munich Mash for the Swatch Prime Line, the Diamond event. And we're going to get down there for our awards ceremony. And we do have, of course, our fan award coming up. That'll be the first thing that we give away. Now, remember, this award is voted by the fans, more or less. The rider who gets the loudest and best cheers from those fans who are wearing the Swatch Touch 02 watch will get awarded, of course, the Swatch Fan Award trophy plus 1,500 euros. So that's a nice little prize for one of the guys in our results list. The question is, who's going to get it? We'll find out briefly here as we have one more look at the beautiful Olympiaturm there, the Olympic Tower. at the Munich Olympic Park, home of the 1972 Summer Olympics, and a destination for so many people in the Munich area when the weather's nice, and in the wintertime, skating on the lake, of course. It's an amazing spot to have an event. And we have just witnessed a great event here with the Munich Mash and the Swatch Prime line. So there you see Nikolai Rogatkin, winner of the Swatch Prime line here. We're going to hustle these guys over for the awards ceremony. So the first thing we will award today will be that Swatch Fan Award. Just making sure all the guys are in place before we let you know who's what, where, when, why, and how. This has been an FMB World Tour Diamond stop here at the Munich Mash, the Swatch Prime line. And there you see Nikolai Rogatkin. He'll be the man at the top of the podium today. We'll tell you who the rest will be shortly. But the first thing we want to do is give away the Swatch Fan Award, and that will go to our German local, Nico Schulze. And he gets that fan award, and the fans were definitely on his side. Good job by the young man from Germany. Daniel giving him the big fist. Ha! That's a great trophy right there. And here we go. This is what got it for him, this jump coming up. Look at that. Incredible.
Perfect back to pedals as well. Maybe those fans helped him a bit more at the bottom.
You think? I think they have the Swatch strapped to the horn. All right, now for our awards ceremony, here we go. Logan Peat, the Canadian, who had those back problems today because of a strange set of circumstances earlier on, takes third place. And there you go. Look at those trophies. Buddy of mine, Daniel, made those nicely. He's making some pretty creative trophies these days. In second place from Sweden, 20-year-old Max Fredriksson. He takes the silver medal today. And of course, important diamond points on the Freeride Mountain Bike World Tour. That's some serious hardware that guys are wearing, hey? It's bling times 10 plus weight. And our winner today, from the USA, Nikolai Rogatkin, with an amazing run. In his first run, 93 points, absolutely incredible. Tried the twister for the fans here in the end. It didn't work out. Nevertheless, he stuck with those 93 points from run number one, and he is your winner. He's going to take away some good points here on the Diamond Series, and he is well on his way to a championship title, but there's still a few more events to come. Nikolai Rogatkin, winner, Swatch Prime line here at the Munich Mash 2016. You guys can also, of course, check out all the Snapchat Swatch updates and stuff. Plus, if you want more information on the event itself, check out munich-mash.com. We also want to say special thanks to BR Puls and Süddeutsche Zeitung, our media partners here locally. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed the Swatch Prime line, a diamond event here at the Munich Mash 2016 from the Olympic Park in Munich, Germany. A final bottle blow here, a selfie, and it's time to enjoy. Very nice. Yep, that stuff burns your eyes. There's no way of getting around it. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed our show. Delayed as it was, we managed to get you some incredible mountain bike action here at the Swatch Prime Line, the 2016 edition of the Munich Mash. Ryan Meyer, always a pleasure to be with you in the booth. Lots of fun.
Likewise, Troy, likewise.
We had some laughs.
Until next time.
We had some tears. I'm Troy Mannering for Ryan Meyer, signing off from Munich, saying thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll see you next year. Ciao, buddy.
Talk to you later.
Mm-hmm.